Hey everyone, and welcome to another FXhome Reacts. We're back with both Ollie and Simon Jones. He's back again for another one. Let's check out some videos and see what we have to say.
What's this?
I really don't know.
Let's find out. So this is an FXhome Retrospective.
I'm going to get a tear in my eye through this one.
Again, it's a very old one.
It's not the 10 years of FXhome. That one gets me every time.
No. This is a good one. This is a keeper.
This is Simon's work as well.
Yeah, so this was, I think this was around our, some big anniversary. Was it 10 year? Can't remember.
Yes, probably.
This was partly put together for the community, partly put together for a kind of celebration party we were having this end, and it was trying to put the company and what we'd done in context of everything.
Oh, look at that. It's my stepbrother Jim.
It's so good.
In an appropriate leather coat for the weather.
That's at the University of East Anglia.
Such was the trend back then.
It's so like 2000s.
There he is.
It really is.
He's got frosted tips, right?
Yeah.
It's so good.
If Jim could have been in NSYNC, he would have been.
Exactly.
Maybe me too.
Who's that guy?
God.
There he is.
Yeah, there with the Hoover.
That guy is my favourite part of this, just charging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you listen to the audio on this is my narration here is me attempting to do a kind of Charlie Brooker style voiceover that really rapidly goes
I think
through
it is.
We're only up to 2001.
It is.
Oh, there's some better quality version of the footage that we just showed in there. Ah, Tim.
He is.
Oh, the cat and the dogs. That was our favourite photo. The dogs with the massive bow ties.
So there's a lot of peculiar insight into company culture here.
That's such a good photo. The one at the back, so happy. It's always it's him and Dog Teeny are my favourite dog photos.
Yeah.
I missed that photo.
Those are happy dogs.
They're printed and framed.
We should have that up on the wall. It'd be so confusing.
Yeah, none.
So this was one of the very first videos I ever made for the company.
Yeah, masking.
Really demonstrating perspective there.
Oh, Bug Chapowski spelled Chapolswaki when it went online for some reason because there was a typo. Oh, that was this was the green screen photo that we based all of our original green screening technology on.
And here's you, right?
There's me, Dave, and Jack. Jack was my stepbrother's friend. So yeah, all of our original green screening technology was based on this photo. I stared at this photo for at least like 8 hours a day for like 5 months.
So this is director Marco von Moos, who
will be visiting very shortly in a couple of weeks, in fact.
And he was massively influential.
He has less hair now,
particularly in the early days. He was one of those filmmakers who in the early 2000s was pushing the technological boundaries of what you could do with no money.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he was kind of like the prototype, like Corridor Digital or HD.
Amazing.
That's a model car that he's turning in front of the camera.
Yeah, I don't get how he did that because I listened to the narration on this and it's very well done. Like that, the bouncing bit. I was like, yeah, you can get away with that.
Because it's Marco. That's why it's well done. Because he's great. The lighting and everything, because it's a little toy car, it's just brilliant.
It works well.
Yeah. There he is. There he is.
Everywhere.
What software? Is that Chrominator? When UI was blue. Blue and neon, like the website.
Yeah. Because with this early software, it wasn't like these days having HD cameras or even 4K cameras and really fast computers is pretty easy and not massively expensive. Back then, every single part of making videos was difficult.
Yeah.
Kind of the forging of that early community was so critical, but because everything was so difficult, the people who did manage to figure out that stuff were those kind of early online digital filmmakers. Yeah. They were so willing to share their knowledge because everyone knew how hard everything was. And that's kind of what led into what the community is now and where online video on YouTube ended up going.
And why they've all done so well. You know, you got Corridor, you got people that were working in the Marvel movies, people that were working in the Star Wars movies. They were all those people that back when it was the worst possible thing to try and do on a computer other than 3D rendering, they were doing well.
Yeah.
There's a green screen on there. We used to sell green screens as well. One of the blue websites. Oh, that's me.
That's you.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not talk
about that.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Adam DV3.
Were you doing a live stream? Was this actually a thing?
It wasn't a live stream. It was a live web chat.
Yeah,
right.
You couldn't do live video.
Oh yeah, live stream. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Live video did not exist.
Thursday, August the 12th of what?
Oh.
97. Oh, there's that same video that we never released. This is not Chrominator. Chrominator could not do lightsabers. This is Alan DV3, the fabled Alan DV3. You can tell because I think is that red button an A? On the right hand side there.
Yeah,
I think that's the. And I think it had 3 slats above it for 3.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what I was going to do for 4, but run out of room. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
There it is. Oh yeah.
So this video kind of goes through some of the marketing challenges of the early years.
I love that. You're like Effects Lab, and then you didn't take any of the suggestions. Not one of them.
If there's one thing that FXhome has been just
Consistent.
poor at for its entire life, it's naming things. we are bad at it.
So here you can see
These
some
are all
of the
like
early,
community members,
Yeah, this is
right?
community members meeting up to make films, which
That's
was
cool.
which was really exciting at the time.
That must be
'cause
it must be
these-
really cool to see it.
Look at those guys. They're so young.
Yeah.
They're both dads now. Well, no, actually, Nico's not a dad yet. It's soon, though.
To be,
But he's going to be a dad.
Turns out photographers like green screens as much as filmmakers. Photokey became our best.
Hey, back when I didn't
Science.
used to need to sleep.
Barack Obama was elected
Just work endlessly. It's good times.
first time a political discussion
photo key.
Yeah, Photokey did well. Should not belittle
Wow, this is
its
a long time ago.
contribution. Yeah.
views on the mentions of Hitler. It's a truly remarkable thing. The closest we had to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's the most
So-
popular thing on the forum.
Yeah, this
talking
was,
about Barack
this was
Obama.
really interesting because this is massive, like 50-page conversation about Obama and the elections in the US, and there's massive variety of views, and all of them fairly respectful, really interesting discussion. It was an internet discussion about politics on our forum, which was a software visual effects filmmaking forum, that was fascinating, and it's hard to see that kind of thing happening on the internet these days.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It'd be,
This was
wouldn't be good.
pretty much pre-social media. So
It's pre-fake news, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's the thing. It's like actual
difference.
discussion goes on and facts outweighed opinion and things like that. People actually used to listen to each other and
Yeah.
go away and research things and come back with data that you could read that would...
What a world.
Yeah, it was...
there's less division and more debate.
Mm.
Which
That sounds great.
I miss.
And yeah, the respect for people with knowledge as well.
The old opposite.
Yeah.
Yay.
Woodson.
And even this
That's
video
why he
is
is.
now pretty old. So
Oh, yeah.
Was that? There's a little
There's a
single
little,
frame in there.
there's a little clip of me as
yeah, I think this
Jedi.
is when we
Oh,
started to
this-
tease HitFilm.
Yeah.
So this
there's a
video came
QR
out.
code that flashes as well.
The
I
QR
just saw.
code and a logo that never was. I don't think
Yeah.
that ever was the
Oh
HitFilm
yeah, no,
logo.
it wasn't. It was the aperture
It
symbol.
changed, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of little clues in here about what we were doing. I don't think anyone really picked up on any of the clues, which I was very disappointed about.
What was the? Where did the QR go?
Yeah,
Go?
we just linked you to a blog. We had a blog that was
Yeah.
going on
Like a
about...
hidden one.
It was hitfilm.com, I think, was a blog.
Yeah,
so
before
yeah.
the main launch.
It was really good, that blog. It had loads of cool stuff on it.
This is Extraction Protocol.
I had nothing to do with this. 'cause I was
this
there
is,
on the
this
day.
is
but-
yeah. So this is Simon's like.
Yeah, so this was back
isn't it?
when the Human Revolution Deus Ex game came out.
You
and-
just about to start
The
talking
human
about the human
revolution was happening,
revolution.
yeah.
It's like, there was a human revolution.
which I was a big
that.
fan of, and it was doing quite well online, and it was kind of spawning a lot of memes and fan videos, and I thought, well, that might be an interesting thing to do, and
Yeah.
because of the way the games work, it gives us an excuse to do lots of different types of effects and
Sure.
slightly different stuff to what we normally did. So that's
Pushing
kind
the
of,
boundaries a bit, weren't you, on this one?
yeah, this one was really difficult. Particularly, we shot the whole thing in one day, which is probably overly ambitious for what we were trying to do with it.
And have you noticed this is the same guy from the beach?
Yeah, and this is before we had 3D rights, so those buildings in the background, kind of a bit of weird forced perspective there that isn't
Yeah.
really working, but we didn't have the ability to do 3D buildings.
Yeah, it's all just 2D planes.
And 2D
working.
tracked.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, it's very,
Local university.
very, very overly ambitious. That's a little prop we stuck on the wall, which I think's been reused a few times.
Oh,
Yes, that was the
no,
bomb
that's,
again.
That's the thing.
This
Yeah,
is
so this
forever
is in,
used.
This is in Rebellion. This black thing on the wall is in Rebellion as the little thing that Basil types in to get the hologram up, right? And then it's also in whatever we shot last time.
Was the prop originally made for this,
Renegade.
or was it made for Fracture?
I think it was made for this. There's a guy called Nigel Clegg who I made a load of short films with, and he also just made loads of props for FXhome over the years.
He's very good at the
He's amazing
props.
at doing steampunk style props.
I love it. It's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's clearly. I mean, we've been using it for 10 years. It's
Still, there it is! There it is!
is.
And then I feel like
it's like modified.
we should bring it over. It's now a bomb.
Should I go and get it?
Reuse what you've got, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean,
Like,
If it ain't broke.
It's just slightly more deadly now.
yeah, look at
it
that
is.
bad boy.
So this is what it got. There it is on the wall, but this is what it got turned into for
Over time.
Renegade.
Yeah.
Josh-
What will it become next?
Well, who knows, exactly. You did some little modifications on it, didn't you?
I did, and glued it back together and put some big pipes and bits and bobs on it.
It's good.
Yeah, that's
Good prop.
You can live here.
Yeah, forever. It's like a little relic.
In memoriam.
Yeah, the challenge with this was always the schedule, I think, because we shot it all in one day, which for something which is massively action-oriented was really difficult. And then in post-production, again, we didn't have as much time or resources we needed, so most of it was me doing it, I think.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of these shots were really hard to figure out back in the day, like especially stuff like this with the moving camera and yeah.
They had those glasses.
Yeah.
They were a nightmare on
The
set.
little pieces.
They just kept falling apart.
Oh, are they two separate?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they had
Lenses.
lenses, physical lenses we could put in, but then there's a lot of CG versions where they turn on and off.
So
This is fully green screened. And this comes through here, which again this was kind of early days of the particle engine, I think. So trying to figure out a lot of that stuff as well.
Oh yeah.
and then she was a stunt
Yeah.
lady as well, wasn't
Yeah,
she?
she's done a lot of
Oh,
stuff.
that's where they turned black.
Lenses are in there.
This was in our local university, which is the one used for Avengers. We keep going back there.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think we had like an hour to shoot in here, which when you're trying to do stuff like this is quite challenging.
Oh,
Unexpectedly violent at the end there.
Yeah.
yeah. That was just the end.
Yeah.
Abrupt. Yeah.
Oh, there's
And
more.
There's a little bit more. The lenses, there we go. So yeah, it's quite ambitious.
FXhome Ultimate. What is that product?
Wow, that was old stuff.
Yeah, it was Ultimate though.
Nice little end shot there.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice stuff
Flying
in it. I think
vehicles.
it's pushing beyond what I was capable of doing at the time. I think these little end credits with the twisty graphics are some of my favourite bits because they still hold up really nicely.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice
good
one.
stuff.
Sweet. So,
Do like that one.
yeah, it's a good one.
Oh, that rocket
keeper.
shot in the city. That was one of
This
those
one.
early showreel things for HitFilm. Yeah.
We need to hunt that down. Thanks again for joining us for another FXhome Reacts, everybody. If you'd like to see the videos that we've been watching, they're down in the description below. Remember to like and subscribe and all that stuff. And thank you to Simon for joining us on these episodes. It's been a real blast. And we'll see you again soon. Bye. Thanks again for watching this.
You said watching.
Thanks again for checking out these videos with us, guys. No, it's going to be watching, I'll say. I don't know. I can't remember what I was going to say now, apart from bye.
Watch.
Probably. Probably that. A lot.
It probably was watch. 10 times. Right. Oh, I'm so hot. Yeah.
It's made it weird.
Yeah. Thanks again for joining.
No, I talk of you.
Thanks again. I'm trying to think of another word than watching. Thanks again for joining us on another FXhome Reacts, guys. And thank you to Simon for joining us, and Josh, of course. We will be back again very soon with another one, and we will see you then. Bye. That'll do. That's good. Good take. All right.